What is going on, comic friends? It's a huge week, fantastic week for comics, but most importantly, Comics Curing Cancer is coming this weekend. So I'm going to release this video a couple days early just to make sure that we get an extra word out, as well as give people time to go check out those streams. It all kicks off right here on this channel Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. So depending on when you're watching this, check that stream out or go back and find that stream, and in the description you can see the link to all the channels hosting the event. It's a 3-day event, 100% for the American Cancer Society. You do not want to miss this. It's a great opportunity to find new channels, pick up a lot of cool stuff, as well as support a great cause. So let's go ahead and get in today's top 10 new comics.
Before we continue on, make sure you bookmark your calendar for Comics Curing Cancer happening the weekend of October 20th through the 22nd. Comics Curing Cancer is an American Cancer Society virtual event that happens on YouTube and focuses on raising money for cancer awareness. Also, don't forget to pre-order your copy of Unnatural Order #1, the Comics Curing Cancer exclusive variant at djlinks.bigcartel.com. This exclusive is limited to only 250 copies. Big shout out to the Comic Mint for donating the books, and big shout out to Matt Wilson for donating the cover art.
It's going to be an amazing time. Last year we raised $22,000. This year our goal is 25, but I have a feeling we're going to surpass that by miles. So let's get into today's video. This is the top 10 comics for the week of October 25th. Huge shout out to ABX Comics and Games right here in Augusta, Georgia. That's where I pick up all my new comics and more from. If you're into comics, gamings, whatever, that's the shop for you. Be sure to check it out. Augusta is fantastic for comic books. So kicking off the list, number 1, going straight for Detective Comics, issue number 1075. We're back at it with Ram V's epic Nocturnal Noctura saga. This has been grand in scale. I'm still getting back into the swing of this story post Night Terrors. It really interrupted this one more than others with how complex and deep and long drawn out this story is. But in a nutshell, it's the oldest part of the Arkham family coming back to reclaim Gotham, and they're bringing the mystic arts from the East with them. At this point in the story, Batman has been infected with a demon, which he's battling internally to try to overcome. And it looks like the massive demon entity Barbados made an appearance at that last issue. So I'm excited to see how this plays out from here. And I'm really curious where this is going from here as well. It seems like we've been living in this moment of Batman infected and the Orgum family kind of making their play for a while now. I'm ready to kind of hit the pedal on the gas with this one. Next up, Action Comics issue 1058, Dark Mirror is listed on the cover. You have 2 backup stories, which some are better than others. And the main body of the story, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, has been phenomenal. Steve Beach is crushing it on the A covers, and that last issue was the start of a brand new story arc where we got the reveal of the head of that eco-terrorist group, the Blue something. It was like the Blue Organization, but that head of that organization made her appearance to the world. She wanted to be interviewed by Clark Kent himself. He found out she was lying through her teeth, but we don't know what she has planned. I'm excited to get into it. We do know her primary mission is shutting down the Kryptonian presence in Metropolis. So will the super family be prepared for this, or will she have a doppelganger ready and waiting for them? Next up, we're kicking off Green Arrow issue number 5 in big style with this one. It's supposed to be revealing this huge plot point for the dawn of DC itself. Like whatever overarching thing we might be building toward is what I'm thinking will be getting its first big connection in this issue. Joshua Williamson, who's architecting all of the DCU stuff right now, is on the helm of this one. So I'm excited to see what he has planned. I have a big feeling it's going to be Amanda Waller adjacent. She's really been thread through all of this. If you've been reading DC for a while, you know, as far back as the Infinite Frontier and really even Future State, they started seeding this big play that Amanda Waller is making for all of the DC universe. Next up, I'm excited to say Tom King's Wonder Woman issue number 2 is here. That first issue was a banger. If you missed it, go back and get it. If you're not a Wonder Woman fan, go back and get it. It was great. Daniel Sampier's art is phenomenal. Concept behind this is there is an attack that leaves numerous American civilians dead in a bar, and it looks like an Amazonian was the culprit. Before we get any rhyme or reason to what happened, the government has called for the exile of the Amazons out of the U.S. They enlisted the aid of Commander Steel, a vicious SOB who looks like he has some form and powers, as well as like a robotic arm with a gun in it. to lead this operation to get them out. Some have left peacefully, some have resisted, some have died in the way, and they came for Wonder Woman in that last issue, and she is resisting as well. So I cannot wait to get into this. It was handled gracefully by TK, and look at that cover with the reflection of the Apache choppers and stuff coming at her, and the stars were the reflecting off the bands. That's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And real quick, a huge shout out to Big Time Collectibles. If you're a fan of online retailers with amazing exclusives, New York Comic-Con exclusive mystery boxes, all kinds of stuff, if you don't have an LCS in your area, be sure to check this shop out. Can't speak highly enough about them. BigTimeCollectibles.com, or you can follow them on social media to get a better idea of what they can offer, as well as never miss out on any of the cool stuff they got going on. So next up, this one's in my top 10, but it's on the questionable list. So Cy Sperrier started the brand new Flash issue #1 last month, and it wasn't a banger. Just being honest, like, I was really excited for it. Jeremy Adams' run was phenomenal, and now it seems like Cy is stepping into the more obscure with this one. But that first issue felt like he was trying to touch on every single aspect of the Jeremy Adams run and kind of shift it in the direction of his. So it was over wordy without saying enough. There wasn't too much action, and it felt like as a reader you were moving slow through that book, which should not be the case for a Flash comic book. I'm excited to get into #2 in hopes that we might be more into like the flow of Cy's story itself. In this book, we have the Flash's powers being wonky. His villains are super powered and he doesn't know why. And we're getting the introduction of a new character, a new entity called the Stillness, which I believe he's going to discover inside the Speed Force itself. So I am excited for his run still. It had little touches like John Carpenter's horror in it and everything, but I really need it to get moving. I don't necessarily want to see him eviscerate what Jeremy Adams did just to get to his story. I hope it's a graceful shift into his story, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm not as hopeful, but Cy Sperrier is a fantastic writer. I just don't feel like the Flash is really his wheelhouse, but we'll see how it goes. Void Rivals issue #5 drops this week. Robert Kirkman's writing the fantastic story, which is the true introduction to the Energon universe at Skybound Image Comics. So if you don't know, Transformers just kicked off, probably the biggest thing that I've seen people talking about in a while with comic books. G.I. Joe is coming hot and fast, and it all starts here in Void Rivals. It seems like this is the connecting tissue. So I'm excited to see what's happening with our two title characters and what their fate is going to be now that they're back on their respected homeworlds, and knowing that twisted secret that we found out about the leaders of their world. But I'm most excited to see what little Easter egg, what nugget of the Energon universe are going to add to this issue, because each issue seems to be the introduction of something familiar from Transformers, and we haven't seen anything from G.I. Joe yet, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. Next up, #7, we've got another Tom King book, but it's earned its list. It's earned its spot on this list with issue 3 of Penguin Under the Dawn of DC. But before this started, I'm like, why do we need a Penguin book? Why? I don't want a Penguin book. I tried #1 because it's Tom King, and it was amazing. It was ridiculously good. If you're familiar with the One Bad Day series that they did, which was a series of one-shots showcasing each one of Batman's rogues and kind of doing their own version of the Killing Joke, like supposed to be a phenomenal story that really sets this character apart from all their previous stories told in the past. All of them sucked except for the Riddler. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. They were all a waste of the money. They were oversized. They cost more, and they all sucked except for the Riddler. And now we're getting what feels like what should have been the One Bad Day for Penguin. Legit, amazing, well-written, well-executed. It's highlighting and showing how a little 4-foot-tall man can run the organized crime in Gotham, where Batman operates unchallenged. How does he do that for so many years and get away with it? Why doesn't Batman just shut him down? We're seeing just how capable, how vicious, and how psychotic this guy is, all because the government has come in and reactivated him. He was out of the game. He was done. But because of how things have gone in the absence of him, they need him back in, a more organized chaos that they can keep an eye on. In order to do it, he needs his crew back, or at least a crew that he could control. And the first thing he did in that last issue was he went and re-enlisted the assistance of a character called the Help, who is just, if you've never read anything with him, he was introduced in Batman Killing Time, which was a mini series, and this is the second time we're seeing him. Now he's needing some extra hands, and he's getting like the Liberty team or the Freedom team or something like that. I'm unfamiliar with this cast of characters, but he's building out his organization before I guess he goes back in and takes over his territory. It's been vicious along the way. Cannot wait to see what he does in this issue. Also, if you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit up Justin's Comics over on Instagram. Let him know you found him via the channel. He can hook it up. He can take care of you. He is the guy for the job. The links to all the people that I'm shouting out is in the description of all my videos. Use those links to get you there quick and easy. You won't regret it. Next up, one that I'm really, really excited about, Alan Scott Green Lantern. This is the third one of the mini-series that they're doing with the JSA characters. We got the Wesley Dodds Sandman. We got the Jay Garrett Flash. Now we're getting the Alan Scott Green Lantern story. The biggest thing I'm excited about these so far is Wesley Dodds, as well as this one, seem to be taking place in the past. Alan Scott Green Lantern is by far the strongest of the JSA characters if you put the Spectre out on a shelf somewhere else. But I'm excited to get a story with him. He's my favorite Green Lantern. It does seem like with this story, they're going to be unpacking his secret past. He's one of the characters that in modern times was revealed to be an LGBTQ character, with him being, he came out as gay back in like the early to mid 2000s. And it looks like they're wanting to do a story showing like a secret love affair he had with a fellow service member, which I'll be honest with you, I couldn't care less about the secret hidden love affair. But what I'm most interested about is they have the introduction of the Red Lantern from the Golden Age. It was a character that's been retconned into history in the new Golden Age era that we've been teased a little bit. And I'm thinking quite possibly Alan's old love interest might be the Red Lantern. And if that's the angle they're going, that adds an extra level of complexity to it that I'm definitely excited for. I can't wait to see that. I just hope that they don't lean on like that out of costume stuff more than the in costume stuff. Like I want to see Green Lantern, Green Flame, Red Lantern, and then like just shock us with the reveal that it was his old boyfriend the whole time. I think that would be super dope. I just don't want to waste a mini series on mundaneness. Next up, something that hasn't been mundane at all, we have the third part of Darkest Hour in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 113. The master arcs are completely open. Terrifying versions of Rangers and villains alike are just flooding through. The Rangers are getting overwhelmed. We've already seen the death of one major character. Could it lead to a death of another? No idea where this is going. Cannot wait to see where it goes. It's supposed to be like a 12-month long event, and we're just getting warmed up. The lead into this has been phenomenal. The execution has been phenomenal. This is just like the best era of Rangers we've had in years. And then rolling in at number 10, super excited for King Kong: The Great War issue number 5. This has been a ridiculous fun series. The way that they're telling a tale of a crashed U-boat in World War I on Skull Island is definitely unique. We're getting definitely the sailor's perspective of their experience on Skull Island, all while trying to survive this wreck. The island is out to get you. All the creatures on it, everything about it just spells sudden death. We're losing crew member along the way, all while I feel like they're being watched, being stalked, being hunted by something bigger and more terrifying than everything else, which is King Kong himself. Cannot wait for this. I don't know how many issues this one's going to be, so it might be getting near the end if it's just a mini series. I really should probably check on that. This might be the last issue. It's issue 5. Who knows? I don't know. But this is being released through Dynamite, which still shocks me because I thought all they do were like naked lady covers. But as I mentioned before, King Kong doesn't wear clothes, so it still fits the description. So that's it for my top 10. It shouldn't look like your top 10. So leave me a comment and let me know what your top picks for this week's going to be, what you're excited about. I know what you're thinking. There was no Marvel on that list. No, there wasn't, because there's nothing I'm excited about coming out from Marvel. It seems like all the Marvel stuff that I get releases like in the same week or two. Hulk, the retro titles, Ghost Rider, Immortal Thor does come out this week, but it fell off the top 10 list. Hasn't been good. The covers are fantastic, but didn't make the list. I'm still contemplating if that's going to stay on my pool list or not. But check out At Week's End every Sunday night at 8:30 to find out the details and reviews on these books. We tend to hit the ones that we really enjoyed and just talk about everything that's happened in comics and pop culture from that week. So be sure to check out last week's episode, as well as we dove into all of the announcements from New York Comic Con that we're really excited about. There's some fantastic stuff that came out. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, to that join button and check out some of the details of becoming a channel member if you want to support the channel even further, or check out the merch shop. Both are excellent ways to support the channel. And that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.